Thank you, Christina, and the entire Matush family. Steve will be forever remembered for his leadership and contributions to our community and the mine supply and service sector abroad. So thank you again. On that note, our second inductee to MineConnect's Hall of Fame is none other than Walter Siggelkow, President and founder of Hardline Solutions, a fixture in both national and international mine innovation, and very likely no stranger to anybody in this community. Please.
Myself and a few other guys, we just thought we could build a better system than what was available. It's like the Three Musketeers, all for one and one for all.
So before I introduce my father, Walter, on behalf of our family and also Hardline, I'd like to send our thoughts as well to the Matush family. We know he meant a lot to his family, the industry as a whole, and the community as well. So our thoughts are with you. Something I've heard my dad say many times is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And to me, that has a few different meanings. To me, it means that if you're working hard at something, it's probably worthwhile. But also it means that once you become a master of something in your field, those make it easy. They make it look easy. Others may try to look on and replicate that, but success in business or in anything isn't something that gets awarded or just happens. It's something that's achieved through hard work and dedication. And as looking through all the the past and current inductees, hearing their stories, hearing the things that they've done, it really shows and goes to prove the hard work and dedication that each one of them has done. But looking on from the outside, it only starts to tell the story. We recognize and acknowledge the hard work that went into all this greatness, but we can only imagine what's behind it and the sacrifices that were made. I know my dad would love to share that and those stories with anyone who would like to hear it, but here's maybe a short version. So before Hardline, my dad had experience working in many different fields, working on the family farm for years, climbing the pole line for cable TV, working in auto mechanics as a machinist, working in maintenance in the mining sector, as well as even building homes and contracting work. He's been able to achieve certification and licensing with all three mechanics trades, being automotive, truck and coach, and heavy-duty equipment mechanics, but also going back to school later and studying electronics engineering technology with Cambrian. And then came Hardline, where all this experience and schooling and knowledge is able to all come together and grow this company. So in Hardlines, as well as many other businesses, there's ups and downs, of course. Many times that there would have been times when many would give up and hang their hat up as things are getting difficult. My dad has always led by example. He's always worked hard, and many would say even looking around, he's always the hardest worker in the room. Whenever work needed to be done, he's in his work clothes, getting right in there, getting the job done, whether it be in a boardroom, shop floor, or even the depths of the mines or in the mountains of Peru or whatever it takes. He's always led by example. He's also always looking for ways to improve things, whether in the business itself or even externally in the community or just looking at how things are done in general. For example, in recreation, what many people might see as a pop-up shelter for ice fishing, my dad sees an opportunity to build a whole community of ice fishing outdoors where people can go and spend many nights in the bush and enjoy that. But it's always trying to improve things and make it better. Over the years, my dad has been many things to me. I'm sure he means something to many people in the room as well, but he's been a dad, a father, a teacher, a mentor, an advisor, a listening ear, and even a shoulder to cry on sometimes, a colleague, a business partner, a fishing buddy, and a friend. So going back to what I mentioned in the beginning, I mean, starting a company, forming it and growing it, it wasn't easy. But going back maybe to one more thing my dad says often is, I haven't worked in years because what I'm doing is fun. My dad enjoys hard work. He loves a challenge. And really it's that passion that drives him, that helps us that are around him to always push harder as well. So with that, I'll introduce my dad, the founder and president of Hardline, Walter Siggelkow.
Thank you, Ryan. Sit this over in the corner here. I'd really like to thank MineConnect and the whole team over there for all the work they've been doing over the last years just to pull all of our companies up in the north and all across, in the mining sector, just pull us together and get everybody working in a common direction, which is really, don't think about ourselves as competing against each other up here, but let's go out in the world and kick some butt out in the world. And that's important. I think one of the funnest things I have in life is bringing foreign US dollars back to Canada, because if we have it, they don't. I'd really like to also mention all the other Hall of Famers that have gone before me, to be, kind of inducted into this group of high impact people. It's a real honor. Really appreciate that. Also, a really heartfelt salute to Steve Matoush and his family and his companies that he created, the iconic companies. Really proud to be in this class with you. When they played this video for me, I was kind of looking at it going, holy smokes, I was young at one time. Boy, sometimes you think back in history, and it's 25 years. This year is actually the 25th anniversary for Hardline. And you think back 25 years ago when we were starting this company, and you're sitting around and having a beer, and it all sounds like fun and games, and then the hard work starts, and the hard work is making money, and you go through, you flash forward a few years, and you're actually getting pretty successful. You make some money, and our friendly Revenue Canada shows up and says, we want some of that money, so you got to make more money so you can pay your taxes. So I made a comment one time. I said, I want to pay so much taxes that it doesn't hurt anymore. So sometimes I still haven't made that yet, but it's fun trying anyway. We've some of the members of the MineConnect community. I mean, we've traveled the world together. I mean, I go through names, but we've been all over South Africa, all over South America, India, everywhere. And we've seen some pretty bizarre things out there. And I think we've all brought ideas and concepts and ways to do business back to Canada that, that we take our companies and we actually go out and we compete on a global market now. And there's a lot of companies here in the group that are doing quite well on the international market in different areas. It's a lot of fun to be part of that community. There's a few things that are really nice to be able to do, and some of them are, when you think about, small startup kind of. I grew up kind of around farms. I was working on a farm, and then all these years later, we've been able to create 120 sustainable jobs here in Sudbury. So I mean, that's a lot of people, you know, that are putting their kids through college and some university and everything else. It's an interesting when you're at it for a long time. Sometimes you walk out on the shop floor and you run into this guy, and you know he's 35 years old. He's talking about his kids going to school, and 25 years ago he was 14 years old, 15 years old, starting a co-op with us. So it's a lot of fun to kind of, you know, mentor, you know, the next generation up through the ranks. But I'd like to say thank you very much. And one group that I really have to thank, there's two groups left actually, and one is the most important person I have to think about. Happy wife, happy life. And I've been able sort of to keep my wife happy for over 40 years now. She stood beside me when I started this company. That was a few interesting conversations because there's a lot of temptations. Just, you know, get a day, you know, 9-to-5 job and come home at night and raise your kids and stuff, you know. And when I say my wife, I also have to thank I have 3 children. I wasn't around to actually raise them. I spent a lot more time with my grandkids than I ever did with my own children. But I really have to thank my wife for standing with me all these years and spending so many nights alone while we're out crawling around the world trying to drum up more business. The second one is so important because, you know, nobody does this stuff by themselves, is the whole team we have at Hardline. We have a phenomenal team of people that work at Hardline across all different trades and professions and professional people. We have an incredible group of people that work for us, and wouldn't be sitting here or have any, wouldn't be doing anything if you didn't have that whole team behind us, you know, keeping the ball rolling. You know, there's a few comments, you know, one of the things is when you get to a certain point, and it was said before, Ryan said it before, is, you know, I said I haven't worked in quite a few years because I don't consider it a job. I considered it more of I enjoy going to work, so it's kind of like a hobby, you know, but it's a job. The problem is when you get hobbies like I have now, they're really expensive. So you got to make a lot of money in order to fund those little hobbies you have. It takes a lot of people to actually accomplish things when you start getting some of the tackling some of the stuff that we're playing with. But it's also a lot of fun. But again, thank you to everybody, and I'm going to turn things back over so you can carry on with the meeting. Thank you very much again.
Well, there we are, folks. Our 2020 Hall of Famers, certainly well-deserved. When I looked at that lineup of video over the years, I see an enormous, I guess, inspiring group of individuals over the years that certainly some of myself, my father was in there. I've influenced myself, and I'm certain many of our members that are watching here today. Congratulations, Steve. God bless you. And Walter, congratulations. Both you gentlemen well deserve to be on that list.